Welcome to another edition of Smart Select series by EnviroSmart Solution. My name is Robert Cairns, and today we're going to be looking at Crawlspace installation, cleanouts, and what you need to know as a homeowner to make an informed decision. So to get started, why are cleanouts needed? Simple truth is that no matter how well a house is put together, at times each component of it is going to need to be updated, maintained, replaced in some cases in order to keep the house in good working order. And so when it comes to the insulation in your crawl space, it's no different. And so we usually recommend that every 10 to 20 years, you take a look at your crawl space and see if it is necessary to replace any insulation that exists there with new insulation following a clean out. There's a couple of reasons why you might do this. There might be an update in building codes requiring this change. Could be that the insulation has lost its effectiveness over time. Could be that rodents or mold have caused damage in the crawl space by clinging to the insulation itself. Could be causing some odors that you can smell in your home, especially if the house isn't properly sealed. It can have an impact on your energy bills, or for those who are looking to sell their home in the near future, replacing the insulation in your crawl space can improve your property value. So when we consider a clean out, there's a few factors or a few symptoms you can look for to see whether or not this makes sense. First off, you want to be checking for any drafty areas in your house. Usually you'll experience this in some rooms, but not others. It's a pretty good indication the insulation near that room has failed. You could see an increase in energy bills. You could see that your HVAC equipment, that's your air conditioner, heat pump, furnace, air handler, is turning on more than 2 to 4 times per hour. It's normal to see HVAC equipment cycle about 15 minutes, once every 15 minutes. So if it's turning on more than 2 to 4 times an hour, that can indicate that it's being overworked due to the lack of insulation. Condensation on windows is a good indication. If moisture is coming up from the ground and getting into the home through your crawl space, it can cause foggy windows, especially in the cold months, and that can be a sign of poor insulation coverage. You could have mold growth in your home, or you could have rodents in your home. Both of those are usually pretty telltale when they're taking place. So what a lot of folks may not be aware of in terms of insulation cleanouts is they actually take place in 2 phases. The first phase is geared towards getting everything that is contaminated, broken down, ineffective out of the crawl space. So that's going to be containment to make sure that all the mess stays where the mess is and to pull it out all at once instead of impacting other parts of the home. Your clean out is going to be pulling out all the debris, all the old insulation, etc., removing it. You want to do some rodent proofing at that stage to make sure that rodents aren't going to come in and disturb the new insulation that you're replacing the old stuff with. You want to sanitize it and deodorize it. That just helps you with eliminating mold growth and also by preventing future rodent activity in the home. And then lastly, you're going to use mold remediation, which is basically a spray that goes over a surface that is contaminated by mold, kills the mold, and stops it from accessing air or water, which is what mold uses in order to grow. And that usually needs to dry for about a day before you can come in and replace any new materials. So that leads us to phase 2, where you're replacing all of that new material. You're doing your air sealing to make sure that you don't feel those drafts in your home anymore. You're replacing your insulation. You're putting a vapor barrier, which is a plastic kind of shower curtain that you put on the floor of your crawl space to stop moisture from getting up into the home. And then you will run your final inspection. So a few questions to ask as to whether this makes sense for you. You want to see when you last inspected your crawl space. If it's been more than a couple of years, you probably want to go and take a look just to make sure that it's still in good shape. You want to look for those symptoms of insulation failure that we talked about earlier. You want to identify if there's any rebates that you can take advantage of. You want to know if there's a contractor that will help you take care of those things. And then once the insulation is reinstalled, you want to make sure that you have someone who will follow up and make sure it stays maintained. And so that's something that we focus on very heavily here at EnviroSmart. We focus on our warranties around this work to make sure that you get this work done once and it's there to stay for as long as you're going to live in your home. You can see a few of our services and warranties listed here. So if you're interested in starting an insulation cleanout and replacement project, feel free to visit us at the website link here or to give us a call directly at the number listed. If you would like to get started, we can send a rep out to your home and provide you with a free in-home estimate at your convenience. We look forward to working with you.